Forgotten weapons. Today I'm going to show you some weapons from Battlefield 3 that I think are being sorely missed in Battlefield 4. The first one you can see on the screen right now is the AN-94 burst fire assault rifle, well, mainly burst fire assault rifle. This thing really does pack a punch in Battlefield 3, and in fact in Bad Company 2 as well. The reason I'm missing this thing so much is because there isn't a lot of emphasis on burst fire weapons in Battlefield 4. I mean, coming to mind, the only one I can really think of is the M16A4, and in that class, the assault class, there isn't another weapon that really matches it, because there isn't another burst fire weapon. So it surely makes sense to put this thing into Battlefield 4 in a future DLC. Now, why do I want this thing in Battlefield 4 so much? Because it absolutely rocks. Its party piece is that it has a fully auto rate of fire of 600 rounds a minute. But when you stick it in burst fire mode, which is what it's intended for, that doubles to 1200 rounds a minute. That means it fires faster than the CZ3A1, the FAMAS, even things like the MTAR-21. They don't stand a chance against the AN-94, simply because it can rattle off bullets that much faster. I know for a fact that this weapon was OP in Bad Company 2. It was my most used assault rifle, and I think if they allowed double platinum status in that game, I would have unlocked around 20 service stars for that weapon. I believe you could only get to platinum level, which is 10,000 kills. Anything higher than that, they didn't award you any more points. But I know for a fact, clocking in over 1,000 hours on Bad Company 2 on the PlayStation 3, I must have hit like second platinum level. I absolutely love this gun. In Battlefield 3, the one thing that gets me is the reload. It's really quite unique, the way that when you reload a full mag, it clicks it right out from the front, slots a new one in, pulls the trigger back, and away you go again. It's just a really standout feature for the weapon. Not many other weapons in Battlefield 3 have those unique reload animations, but in Battlefield 4 I think it would fit in quite well, because as we've seen from the DLC so far, DICE have been pretty happy to put in some swanky reload animations. I mean, look at the Gold Sniper Magnum, for example. My preferred loadout for the AN-94 is the Cobra Sight, foregrip and heavy barrel. That's pretty much one of the best ways to go in Battlefield 4. I mean, I would stick the flash hider on there, but it does actually hinder you slightly in Battlefield 3, whereas in Battlefield 4 it doesn't. So I was stuck the heavy barrel on there because this thing really can be good at long range if you stick it in burst and burst slowly rather than fast, because otherwise you're just going to spam it into the sky. Of course, if this weapon was brought into Battlefield 4, we'd have a lot more customization options to choose from, and I think that would be a really good thing for the game. I mean, sticking a Coyote sight on here, that is my favourite red dot sight in the game. It gives you such a wide field of view looking through that scope. You can see absolutely everything. And there's such a thin bezel as well. It really does give you quite a scope to look through. And with the AN-94, obviously it does have a bit of recoil. It's designed basically to punch two bullets in exactly the same position and then fire the recoil off of the second bullet. That doesn't translate into Battlefield 3 very well, and nor Bad Company 2. I think if DICE could implement that mechanic into BF4, this weapon would be absolutely amazing and really unique. The G3 A3 battle rifle from Battlefield 3 is the second weapon I want to see back in BF4. This thing is a heavy hitter. It packs a punch with a max damage of 34 at close range, dropping off to 22. So it's still a 5-shot kill at range, but this thing kicks up vertically like a mule. So most of the time you're going to be aiming at the chest, and your bullets are just going to hit the guy in the face because the vertical recoil is so high. You can counteract that with a foregrip, but I actually think it works pretty well in your favour at long range, because the bullets just bouncing up and hit him in the head means that you're going to reduce that 5-shot kill down to a 3-shot kill. Again, this is another legacy Battlefield weapon because it's been available in pretty much every Battlefield game that I've played. Most notably in Bad Company 2, this thing was one of the hardest rifles to unlock. I think they actually nerfed the assignment for you to unlock this, or at least the points level for you to unlock this in Bad Company 2, because it just took so long to unlock. And I know in Battlefield 3, again, it was under fire for being too hard to unlock. I believe to start off with, you had to get over 400,000 points in co-op mode, which was really hard to do. You had to continuously play through the co-op levels to even get anywhere near 400,000 points. And I believe that was actually nerfed in the end to 140,000 points, so it became much easier. But that update didn't come until after the Aftermath DLC, so it was extremely difficult to get this weapon. Why I think this is a viable choice for Battlefield 4? The Scar H has no competitor. It's exactly the same as the M16A4 with the AN94. There is no competitor for it, and what better to have than the G3A3 that's been so present in the Battlefield series? It just baffles me as to why this has been left out. I spoke to a couple of people while I was making this video, and a lot of people have said that the G3A4, a new variant, has come out with a different stock on the back of it. And even if that was introduced to make it at least relevant with the time period for Battlefield 4, I think people would really appreciate that. I mean, I know a lot of people like using the heavy hitting weapons. I know that the heavy LMGs are much more preferred to the light LMGs in Battlefield 4 because they just deal more damage and you can take people out quicker. And surely you want that in the Assault class as well, so if DICE have got any sense, this will be put into Battlefield 4 at some point. My preferred setup for the G3, Cobra Sight, Heavy Barrel, Foregrip. You cannot go wrong with that combination in Battlefield 3. It is by far and away the best combination. I know to start with that the Suppressor and Foregrip when Battlefield 3 first came out was the most overpowered setup for any weapon that you could have, or at least for the assault rifles, and it meant that nobody was ever visible on the minimap at all. I mean, if you went into a game of Metro 1000 Tickets, you could not see anybody on the minimap, and I think DICE done some patching along the line when they introduced the M26 mass bug that actually changed that to make the heavy barrel a little bit more prevalent, and it actually nerfed the foregrip a little bit to make it a little bit harder for you to use those weapons, because when Battlefield 3 first came out, when you played the assault class, the guns were just like lasers. They virtually had no recoil with a foregrip on, side to side. It was so easy to hit people. But anyway, that about wraps up my reminiscence of weapons that I want to see in Battlefield 4. I know you guys will have completely different opinions to me, and that's great, so make sure you leave your comments today, letting me know what weapons you'd like to see in Battlefield 4, and the reasons why. Let me know why you want those weapons to be in this game. Just one final note before I end the video, I am working on a couple of side projects for my YouTube channel. At the moment they're sort of in their infancy and I'm just sort of getting used to things. Don't worry, they are FPS games and it's not going to change drastically. It's just so that I can introduce a little bit more of a different gameplay style to the channel. Again, it's going to be FPS, so I hope you guys will enjoy it. But make sure you stick around for those, they'll be coming out in the next few weeks. But anyway, thank you for watching today guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do make sure you hit that like button, and as I've said already, comments are always appreciated. But until next time, my name is Westy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.